A+ലേക്കുള്ള വഴി ഇനി തനിയെ തുറക്കാം. Subscribe to the ENCLAPS channel. Ring the bell button and open success. It's that easy.
Welcome to the wonders of life. Questions are the keys to knowledge. Some questions will be answered quickly. Some questions, however, remain unanswered for generations. Journeys following unanswered questions take us into a world of new knowledge. Thus, there are some questions that have been asked by primitive man and are still unanswered. How did the universe and the planets come to be? How did life come on Earth? And whether there is life in any other planet other than Earth. Let us go through the answers that science has found so far to these questions. Are you ready? Do you know how old this Earth is? Will you be surprised when I mention the age of the Earth? It is estimated that the Earth was formed around 4,500 million years ago. This means that the age of the Earth is 4,500 million years. It is based on more predominant theory called the chemical evolution theory. There are many hypotheses about how life originated on this Earth. One of them is the panspermia hypothesis. Panspermia is the argument that life may have been originated in some other planet in the universe and accidentally reached the Earth. The organic substances obtained from the meteors that fell on Earth support this. The theory of evolution is based on the idea that life originated as a result of changes that occurred in the chemical substances in seawater under special conditions in primitive life. This theory is widely accepted in the scientific community as it is based on experimental evidence. Russian scientist A.I. Oparin 1924 and the British scientist J.B.S. Haldane 1929 are the prominents of this theory. Now let us see how the theory of chemical evolution explains the origin of life. Primitive Earth's atmosphere contained gases such as hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, vapor, and hydrogen sulfide. There was no free oxygen in the atmosphere of the primitive Earth. The vapor in the atmosphere condensed and formed into prolonged rainfall, thus leading to the formation of oceans. Amino acids, monosaccharides, and other molecules that receive energy from lightning, ultraviolet radiation, and volcanic eruptions got converted into proteins, polysaccharides, nucleotides, and lipids. Thus, with the nucleic acid and lipid layer, primitive cell was formed. Hence, primitive cells are formed as a result of these chemical reactions that take place in the ocean. Now see if you can answer these indicators. Atmosphere of primitive Earth. Peculiarities. Primitive Earth's atmosphere contained gases such as hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, vapor, and hydrogen sulfide. There was no free oxygen in the atmosphere of the primitive Earth. Next, sources of energy. The sources of energy were thunder, lightning, ultrasound radiation, volcanic eruptions. Formation of ocean. The vapor in the atmosphere condensed and formed into prolonged rainfall, thus leading to the formation of oceans. Chemical reactions that led to the formation of cell, amino acids, monosaccharides, and other molecules that receive energy from lightning, ultraviolet radiation, and volcanic eruptions got converted to proteins, polysaccharides, and other compounds. Thus, with nucleic acid and lipid layer, primitive cell was formed. The scientific basis of this hypothesis regarding the origin of life was later proved by numerous experiments. The most famous of this is the Urey-Miller experiment, which was performed by two scientists, Stanley Miller and Harold Urey. Urey and Miller experimented by artificially creating a primitive atmosphere that contained methane, ammonia, hydrogen, and vapor. Just have a look at the experimental system they have prepared. Urey and Miller recreated the atmosphere and chemicals of the primitive Earth in a glass flask. Instead of the lightning current, like the atmosphere, electricity was transmitted at high voltage through the gas mixture in the glass flask of the test system. The glass mixture was then cooled with the help of a condenser. When the sediment was separated and examined, it was found that amino acids were formed. Later, many scientists designed, similar experiments and more organic compounds were synthesized. This finally gave more acceptance to apparent Haldane hypothesis. Organisms are formed as a result of billions years of chemical evolution in primitive seawater. One can examine the main stages related to the origin of life in a chronological order. 3,800 million years ago, the origin of life on Earth was formed. That means the primitive cell is formed. Prokaryotes originated on Earth about 3,500 million years ago. Eukaryotes originated on Earth about 1,500 million years ago. Multicellular organisms originated on Earth about 1,000 million years ago. Numerous research studies are still being conducted around the world to unravel the mysteries surrounding the origin of life. At the same time, the presence of extraterrestrial life is a major concern. The emergence of life is the result of the accidental aggregation of inorganic molecules. The question of whether this is happening elsewhere in millions of celestial bodies is still active today through numerous space explorations. The method of science is the formulation of inferences on the basis of evidence obtained through experiments and observations. Science emerged along with the origin of human beings. So direct evidence are not available explaining the origin of life and the process of evolution that began long before the origin of man. Hence, scientific concepts in these two areas undergo continuous changes. There is no limitation to science. Science is unprejudiced and accepts all knowledge formulated in the basis of derived evidences and rejects or revises the existing ones. This accept of science makes it incredible. See you again with more details on evolution. Bye.
3 ലക്ഷത്തിലേറെ വരുന്ന ചോദ്യോത്തരങ്ങൾ ഏറ്റവും കുറഞ്ഞ ചിലവിൽ സ്വന്തമാക്കുവാൻ ഉടൻ തന്നെ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യൂ എൻക്ലാപ്സ് ദ ലേണിംഗ് ആപ്പ്.